What is going on, people of YouTube? My name is Kurtyoy. Welcome to Game Week 25 preview. Now, it's only just been the last game week, which is Game Week 24, in which I saw a pretty good point. So, in fact, you know what? I'm going to risk my internet speed letting me down and show you how I did in this game week. I only got 8 above in the end, which I suppose is okay. I'm not going to complain. I went up in a few leagues, went down in a lot of them. I mean, it would have helped if I had, you know, the 16-point Barkley on the team. You know, the clean sheet of Font and the clean sheet of Simpson on. But in the end, my team had a decent week, despite the fact I still managed to leave out about 30 points. Yeah. So, anyway, we're just going to forget about that game week, move on to Game Week 25. It's only around the corner, so I don't have to do that much to forget it. But, who are you considering transferring in? We've got another transfer member, and it's coming thick and fast. And a double game week is approaching. Do you risk bringing in a player but losing them on game week 27? What do you do? Well, I'm here to tell you. I've rattled on for too long. Let's start off with the goalkeepers. And first of all, I'd like to say, shout out to Mark Bunn. He's the first goalkeeper I'm going for. By the way, 3 from each position: defenders, goalkeepers, midfielders, strikers. Did that wrong way around. But anyway, Mark Bunn. Now, a really strange choice, you might say, considering he's from Villa. But, you know, you look at his form so far. Clean sheet, you know, pretty good game against Leicester. Saved the penalty, he's got 10 points. Another clean sheet against West Brom. And unlucky against West Ham because started off, you know, decent from what I saw. And the red card pretty much cocked them up big time. And they weren't going to get anything out of that game from that point onwards. But they come up with a home game against Norwich. Now, that's a huge game, and I think it could be a game to take 3 points. Norwich haven't been looking good, and I believe there is all the chance that you can at least get a clean sheet from this one. It depends on what Norwich comes up on the day. It might be worth, you know, getting him in as a backup goalkeeper like I have done, but definitely worth bringing in for only £4.3 million. Moving on to the second goalkeeper, we've got someone who has played in every game he's played this season, has a clean sheet. That is, of course, Mr. Fraser Forster from Southampton. He picks up a fantastic game week against Arsenal, making 10 saves. That is humongous, considering his first 3 games he made 2 in all 3 of them. Yeah, go figure. Anyway, he has a pretty decent game week, home against West Ham, and I feel like as much as West Ham are a threat, Payet hasn't delivered in the last few game weeks, and I feel like with Fraser Forster, you know, pulling out the game he did against Arsenal, I feel like, you know, it could be another clean sheet for the boys in the red and white stripes. And lastly, we've got a goalkeeper from another team beginning with S. It's actually Swansea this time, and Mr. Lucas Fabianski, been the Maverick in goal the whole season for Swansea. Actually went down from 5.0 so far this season, but yeah, decent game week against West Brom, unlucky to concede a goal late on. However, you're looking at the fact he's got Crystal Palace at home. They've been shocking, Crystal Palace, and I repeat, shocking. Absolutely diabolical. Chance to get a clean sheet. They've been solid in recent weeks. You look at the fact that 1-1-0, excluding the red card kerfuffle with that. 2 against United, which, you know, it's unlucky. Then you got 0-0-0, 2 against City. So going back a long way, they've barely had any scratches on their good defensive record recently. Good chance for them to get a clean sheet this coming game week. Moving on to the defenders now, and actually, looking at defenders, only one of them is matching. We're going to start with the first person, and actually it's Liverpool defender by the name of Alberto Moreno. Now, the last time I called him out, he scored an own goal. So let's hope that doesn't happen again. I'm pretty sure that was him. Let's see. Maybe just had a horrible game week. I'm not sure. But last time I called him out, he didn't do well at all. But this game week, you're looking at the fact they've got Sunderland at home. Sunderland can score goals. However, I feel like Liverpool have enough to hold them off. Is a risk saying that. Liverpool's defence has been torrid at the moment. You look at that 4 goals against Norwich is, you know, haunting them. But good chance of a clean sheet here for Alberto Moreno, and I think he'll take his opportunity graciously. Moving on to the second defender, we have a centre-back this time. He goes by the name of Mr. Eric Dier. Now, with Vertonghen's injury, Kevin Wimmer comes in. Now, that is a huge, huge chance for people to get a £4.6 million defender in, considering Vertonghen could be out for a decently, you know, lengthy time. However, Dier is still sitting in front of that defence, which A, is good because he's playing in midfield and he's a defender, and B, it's also good because if you are, you know, having common sense and you have got Dele Alli in your team, he's allowed to push forward and do the magic he is doing. Eric Dier gets clean sheets when he's playing midfield, allowed to go forward, chance of getting assist and goals, definitely worth bringing in, and especially as Spurs have a home game against Watford. If anyone's going to break it, it'll be someone like Eric Dier, who has to push forward and charge the extra man, because they're a very solid team to break down our Watford. I'm sure Fox in the Box will agree. And lastly, we have Mr. Cedric Soares from Southampton. Now, he was the one that was the same. The reason I'm putting him in there is because out of your back four, your first team back four, you've got 5.3, 5.4, 5.3, and then Cedric at 4.8. And even though he hasn't scored as many points as them two, definitely worth considering bringing him in, because, he can attack down the wings as well. And playing against West Ham United, it could be him that makes a difference. Good chance of getting a clean sheet, definitely worth bringing in your teams. Moving on to midfield now. This is a risk, I know. Mesut Ozil. Now, away game against Bournemouth, he's been torrid. Recently, you're looking at the fact the last 5 games, average less than 2. If you're concluding the one he didn't play in. However, I'm feeling like it's going to be a good game week against Bournemouth. Chance for him to get back on the right way, get an assist, maybe a goal too, as he's got a massive amount of 3 so far this season, and hopefully get back on track for breaking that assisting record he is on course to break. Mesut Ozil, I think, is going to have a good game week this week. There we go, said it. And moving on to the Swansea player that we've got in here, surprisingly, is actually a return to the preview for Andre Ayew. Welcome back, my friend. He's, was quiet against West Brom, quiet against Watford, but against Everton he was explosive. And against Palace, they've been poor. They've conceded goals. Swansea are relying on Ayew at the moment, and I think it's a good chance for him to score lots of points. Back to the early days of the season where Ayew was scoring big, saving teams, vital points, and that could be a return of that today. And lastly, again, another risk, really. It's Mr. Roberto Firmino. I say bring him in, because again, he didn't really do much against Man United or Leicester, but home against Sunderland, they concede goals. He plays furthest forward. 2 + 2 equals. He's got a good chance of getting some points here on FPL game week number 25. And lastly, we've got the 3 strikers. Now, these 3, I have to admit, are redonkulous. And I contradict myself on one of them. But hear me out. First of all, we have got a Norwich goalkeeper, Norwich striker by the name of Steven Naismith. Now, famed for his 4 goals this season, 3 of which came against Chelsea in that beloved hat-trick, and one of them came against Liverpool, so only scores against big teams. That's why I've got him scoring against Aston Villa this game week. I feel like if anyone is going to break through, the defence of Villa, it's going to be someone like Naismith, who's good in the air, tenacious, works, gives 110% from the first whistle to the last, and someone like that is bound to score points against someone like Villa. Second striker we've got, again, hear me out, is an Everton striker by the name of Aruna Kone. Now, I'm not sure if Gabriel Niasse, or Omar, Niasse, is going to play. I think they said Lukaku is confirmed out, who's got double the points exactly of Kone. And he, I believe, will play up top, hopefully. My predictions are correct. And if he does, he's got an away game against Stoke. Pretty strange one to do, but Stoke have been poor in the defence recently. That's why I don't have Vulshield. I've brought in Charlie Daniels. That is why I think Aruna Kone could be on the end of getting a few goals this game. 5 and 4. Not a bad return for someone who's playing second fiddle, probably third fiddle now in an Everton team. And lastly, is Mr. Oumar Niasse. Apparently, I didn't know he was there, but if he's to play, then get him in, because if he is ready to play and he can play, excellent, because he'll be playing up front as well. But again, that is a risk, and I only put him there because I literally couldn't think of anything else. I mean, looking at the fixtures, you could think, Aguero, but I wanted to go out of the norm, so I thought, put Oumar Niasse there, and hopefully something will happen. So, thank you guys for watching. Just a recap over the quick 12 in a very quick speaking way that I do. Mark Bunn, Fraser Forster, Lucas Fabianski, Alberto Moreno, Eric Dier, Cedric Soares, Mesut Ozil, Andre Ayew, Roberto Firmino, Steven Naismith, Aruna Kone, and Oumar Niasse. Thank you guys for watching. Drop that mic and walk away. If you like this video, then leave a like. Everything in the comments down below, and subscribe if you feel like I'm worthy, and I'll catch you all in the next episode. Peace.